Hell yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
The Hundo Boys of the summer. In a city in which I grew up, a lot of people couldn't care less about baseball. Now, there are certainly baseball fans because the history in Pittsburgh is obviously a deep one with the Pirates, but a lot of people had kind of lost the faith. That is boring. That we suck at, other than a nice night to PNC Park and hopefully some Zambelli fireworks afterwards. Then something changed. Some stars came to town. And not only are balls flying out of the park and the boats are towing up behind on the river that has dead bodies floating in it, there are pitchers now that are electrifying. So much so that the pitching ninja calls them the Allegheny, which is the county in which Pittsburgh is in, Electric Company. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hundo Boys from the Pittsburgh Pirates, both rookies, Jared Jones, Paul Skenes. Oh, slide in. Chris Collinsworth, respect. That was a good slide in, Jared. That was a good slide in.
We planned that.
Yeah, that was all him.
Okay, so you're both incredibly rich. We know that. Are you guys roommates? Is this how this goes? And how is the friendship between you two? Paul, we'll start with you, pal.
Yeah, we are roommates. The nice thing about the show is we've got our own our own rooms on the road, so we're not bunking up right now in Toronto. But we're having a good time.
And Jared, how is it? I think we talked to Paul about this before when he was on the show. You two kind of going through something similar, but you different paths. How is it to have a guy like Paul in the bullpen alongside of you? Has it made you better? Do you feel like you're competing against each other, learning from each other? What's it like, Jared?
Yeah, I'd definitely say we're learning from each other. Just going out there, I'm sure he takes notes on what I do when I throw, and I do the exact same thing when he throws. And obviously, he's a lot of fun to watch when he does throw. I told him this offseason, I'm training the whole offseason with you to learn that splinker that you're throwing. But
hey, Jared, he said it's not even a splinker. I just call it a sinker, is what I call it, but everybody else calls it a splinker. What is different about it? And is there things like finger position on ball that you guys kind of give to each other, Jared?
Yeah, it's 95, and it has the most movement I've ever seen on a sinker. So that's pretty gross. But he was telling me how he throws it and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff to work on there this offseason.
Paul, whenever we last talked to you, you were just kind of getting started in this entire thing. Now you've somehow become a guy that when you strike people out, you're dancing on one foot.
Hell yeah.
Ain't he?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jared, you see that? You see that shit where he's just in the middle of a major league ballpark
living,
and like his fourth start, just like, boo. That's a good, yeah, all right. Softball game out there. Has there been any anxiety, emotion, nerves change as you go, or are you just settling in and getting more comfortable every single time you hit it on the mound?
Just settling in. The game doesn't change, people change. So, the only thing different right now, I think, is the stadiums are a little bit bigger, but it's the same game.
Are the balls moving faster because you're in the majors? And how do you guys hide the spider tack?
No spider tack.
Yeah.
You guys are young, Jared. Is that generation before you? And you guys, is that something that's real? Because that spider tack thing I learned about whenever people are getting patted down.
Oh, yeah.
That was just in the last couple of years, just kind of came out of nowhere. And then I think CC Sabathia came on and was like, yeah, I guess it was happening. I didn't know. So it was from CC's era to like a couple years ago was the spider. You guys are always trying to do shit, but it's like more severe punishment now than ever if you were to add a little bit of grip to the fingers. So do you just not do any of it? Is that real? Or how does that whole thing work in your generation, Jared?
Yeah, I've never really used it. I kind of got a first glimpse of it right when I got into pro ball. I was playing catch with someone like my first time out when we got sent out in 2020. And I felt the ball. I was like, dude, what is on this baseball? And he was telling me, oh, it's spider tack. That was before it was banned and stuff like that. But I've really never been on it. I've always just used the rosin that we were given on the mound. And sometimes my hand turns a little black. And I've had a couple umpires tell me to watch myself. I go, dude, it's just rosin. He goes, oh, I don't care. Wash your hands. I'm like, all right, whatever.
It's a bad look, okay? Everybody in here can see that you got something on your damn hands.
Angel's gone now,
Hey, go ahead, AJ. Go ahead, AJ.
This is for both of you, but Paul, you can go first. Have you thought about the possibility
one day in your major league career that someone may charge the mound on you. And I just want to know if you guys have a plan maybe if someone does come charging at you and your catcher doesn't get them before they get to you.
Yeah, I took a boxing class at Air Force. I wasn't very good, but I have a little bit of practice. So, just got to fight them.
Jared,
Jared knows a little bit.
Jared, do you?
Jared, you take any MMA classes? Jiu-jitsu?
No, I haven't. But I have gotten charged before, and it wasn't a very pretty sight.
Okay, Paul, have you ever got charged?
I haven't.
I assume you're so big.
Big son of a
Jared, he's a big son
You
of
got
a
to
bitch.
meet him and tackle him. You got to meet him halfway and tackle him, I think, and take it to them.
Yeah, Jared, you did the Collinsworth slide, and obviously you're a football guy. I think you're charging them.
Yeah.
They think they're charging you. You're charging them, Jared. I think that's the play.
I got to go to the back of the mound and just get a running head start, jump up, and go spikes first and do something.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no rules.
Flying
No
kick.
rules in the fight.
A missile drop kick
Yeah.
off the mound. Yeah, you're getting ejected, obviously, but boy, that would be the Hundo Boys merch.
Oh, through the roof.
Here we go. Now, Jared, can you feel it in Pittsburgh that baseball is like in? I don't want to just say like, hey, it's because of you two, but like, hey, it's because of you two. Can you feel it in Pittsburgh, Jared, whenever you go to the ballpark? And how is it? Because it hasn't always been like this. You guys need to know that. I know you're both new to the city of playing there. It has not always been like that. Does it feel very real right now?
Yeah, I mean, this past couple of homestands, like our crowds are selling out. Like we're getting people at the ballpark, and it's a lot of fun to play in front of.
Paul, whenever when you play Q Country Roads in Pittsburgh, did you just feel like you were the coolest dude on earth? Because I saw a video and I thought to myself, A, I should have known that song a lot sooner. Sorry, Mr. Godwin. And B, in Pittsburgh, what a legendary move. You know that, Paul.
Yeah, one of the Bat Boys came up to me after my debut, and he was like, "I love the warm up song," and I was like, "Yeah, I couldn't really hear it, to be honest. The crowd was so loud that day, but my last start at home, I heard it pretty well, and it gives me chills a little bit."
Let's go. I love that. Ty has a question for you.
Obviously, both of you guys being drafted where you're at, Paul, we know you played catcher before. Jared, obviously, you're a stud in high school. Who's the better hitter between you two? Because I still think it's bullshit that there's a DH in the National League. But, do you guys even get to take BP? Or do the Pirates just put you in, bubble wrap everywhere you go because they...
Yeah, no BP for us. I think we both hit a little bit in the offseason, but not during the season. It's been a while since I picked up a bat.
Who's the better hitter?
I'm gonna go with him. His hitting career went a little bit farther than mine. Mine stopped in high school.
Why is that in baseball? Just because you only have so many reps on your arms, Jared? Why? Because I assume they noticed you were going to be a great pitcher. All right, why are we even messing around with the bat? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and stop that. Why is that, you think? And when did that start taking place? I assume you're not a history expert, but why? Did you enjoy it whenever it happened? Did you just expect it whenever it happened to you?
I mean, yeah, I loved hitting. I used to hit tanks in high school, but yeah, I don't really know the research behind that, but yeah, as soon as I signed with Pittsburgh, they shut that down pretty quick.
When did you start throwing 100?
This year. I haven't hit 100 before this year.
That's awesome. Boom.
So we're only getting faster right now, right? I mean, that's where we're only getting faster.
Yeah.
Hundo Boys about to be like,
105 boys.
We're about to start doing some math. We're about to start looking like one of those little tickers things that's going through. I mean, just straight gas, dude. Just straight absolute gas. Catchers, you guys have conversations with your catchers. I think we've asked you before this, Paul, because obviously you used to be a catcher. But are they the ones telling you hey, it feels like it's coming a little bit harder right now to you? Or hey, you're having a good day or bad day? What are the conversations with the catchers, Jared?
I mean, most of the conversations I have with the catcher is set up right down the middle, and I'm gonna let all my stuff play right off of that. I know I have an idea where the ball is going. I'm not like a pinpoint guy where it's I'm gonna dot this fastball inside on you. If it gets there, it gets there. But yeah, I just kind of tell my guys set up right down the middle, let everything else play off of that.
All right, it's gonna be left half, left lower quadrant
over there.
I think. I mean, is it going to be perfect? We'll see. That little square. And now that Angel Hernandez is in umpiring, maybe those will get called strikes if I am. You guys can't do that. You guys can't do it. Disrespect the umpires. Obviously, don't. More respect for the umpires, pal. Let's go ahead and do that. Tone has a question for you, boys.
I feel like I might know the answer based off of Jared talking about the splinker earlier, but which one of you two has the better outpitch? And I know you guys might say the splinker, but Jared, I mean, there was a time earlier this season where you made a guy from the Brewers he had no idea.
Tore his
like,
ACL.
He didn't know where he was at. So who has the better outpitch?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's better, but I think we both have different qualities. Like, I think my slider's really good, and I think his little splinker thing is really, really good. So, I mean, with those two pitches combined, I think they're just right up there with each other.
And Jared, how come Kutch only hits home runs in Paul's starts and none of your starts?
Ooh.
I mean, he's a lot more exciting to watch. Maybe everyone's just juiced up for whenever Paul pitches.
Jared, you got to start working the locker room, bud.
Yeah,
you got to start getting some, pizza,
to the
cake,
boys.
beers,
Yeah, I got to start kicking some doors in.
No, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. You get more with honey than with vinegar. That's what they say. Go ahead, con man.
Yeah, Skenes, obviously the reaction from the crowd when, your pitch and you mentioned you could barely hear the intro song, but did you expect all the stashes in the crowd? That was kind of a cool little thing. It was kind of a mania of all these kids wearing stashes. And then, Jared, are you thinking about maybe messing around with a mullet? Because then maybe people might start wearing mullets.
With the stash.
With the stash.
They just put your head on.
I mean, look, just something to think about, boys. It's a good look.
Oh, we got one.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I got one rolled.
Unbelievable.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, he's got the flow.
Skenes, do you see the mustaches around town?
I didn't during the game. I heard about him after the game, saw him a little bit after the game, but I didn't see him at all during the game.
Kids are growing up.
Locked
Paul,
in.
you were playing in a stadium here that was right next to a zoo that you could see from the pitcher's mound. Do you remember that? You could just see him?
Yeah.
And then literally right above where you would be sitting in between innings, 6 kids.
Yeah.
You must have thought to yourselves, oh, these kids in Pittsburgh grow mustaches early.
Yeah,
Crazy.
just for men
Is
already.
that what you were thinking? Paul, that's for you. That's for you out there. And when you're about town, are you leaving your house at all or apartment, or are you just napping in baseball still, Paul?
Pretty much just napping in baseball, going to the field, early and staying there late. So it's a good life.
Jared, are you the same way?
No, I think I got a little bit more hobbies. We got a little pond right behind our house. I mean, he comes out with us. He's definitely caught more fish than me since he started coming out, but we do go fishing right at that pond.
Oh, you guys good. We got big old lippers. What are we? Let's set.
What are we catching?
Yeah, what are we fishing
got
for?
some
What's the
music?
music? Are we on a boat? Are we on the side of pond? Where are we?
Doc?
It's a little pond. There's no boat, but there's smallmouth bass and then there's bluegill out there.
Paul, you're just reeling them in, huh? You make that thing dance out there? Is that what we're?
Occasionally. I caught a frog one time.
Did catch a frog.
Should throw baseballs at the fish.
No,
Sure. Jeez, come on.
We're catching them, throwing them back, so we can catch
To
them
work
again.
on the game.
Catch and
right?
release.
Just
Yeah, we're not trying to
respect-
murder these
I don't
fish.
want to murder
Respect the
the fish. I'm not
fish.
saying that you could cook it and then bless it and then eat it, obviously. You're not just killing them and throwing them back.
Hey, Paul Skenes, down Louisiana, you ever fist a fish down there? You ever do one of those fisting of fishes, noodling?
No, I didn't. I've heard you can, get your hand pretty screwed up that way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think any of our friends, did that either, as far as I know.
Yeah, I guess a pitcher should not be the one
Yeah, hands in
fisting
baseball.
fish.
Yeah.
Sounds like probably the right decision. How many strikeouts this year? Do we know already? Is it 23, I think? What is no, it's got to be more than that.
Yeah, it's more.
I mean, I forget. We're donating.
30.
30.
I don't know.
All right, 30 strikeouts, donating 100 per. You're donating 100 per. And if you break the all-time record, let's remember, $1 million, okay? You were almost on your way. The first game after we talked about that, you were just sawing everybody down. Was there ever
No, I knew it was. They were bound to hit some at some point. That's how the game goes.
They didn't, though.
Yeah, but
Didn't
they did, and then you left. Then you left the game, and I was like, thank God we don't have to donate $1 million this early into this entire thing. But I would love to. It'll obviously be for a good thing. But like you could have,
Yeah.
that, you were set up to do that.
Well,
Like,
and if I'm remembering correctly, you threw 7 innings and no hit ball, right? But you were at like 100 pitches. Like, was there any conversation like, "Hey, listen, I get it. I'm young. Like, let me go throw a no hitter right now"?
No, I mean that's just where we're at right now too. Especially with the innings restrictions that we've been, having, and I mean, 100 pitches is 100 pitches. Like that's where the game's at right now. I wasn't really expecting to go any longer than that.
You trust the plan. That's what you're saying too. There was
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you a part of that plan, like conversation, or somebody like who like you're told this stuff, or they ask you how you're feeling, or is it like, has there been a blueprint of others in the past? Like, hey, here's the number probably if we want this to last as long as we want this to last.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the room where they're deciding, the absolute number that we're not going above, I guess. But it's a conversation for sure. But there's definitely a plan. I think it's all based on what's happened in the past and some data that they have. So they're a lot smarter than I am on that stuff.
We would love for you to, play for the next 30 years in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And on the other side, Jared, obviously you were starting the season 70 strikeouts from Jared Jones.
Yep.
Damn.
30 from Paul Skenes. The HUNDO Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't thank you enough. The future of Pittsburgh Pirates baseball, bringing baseball back to Pittsburgh in a massive way. Have a great rest of the season, boys. You said you're in Toronto right now.
Wow.
Yuck.
Blue Jays stink this year.
Canada does too.
Go have some Labatt Blues, boys. Crush a couple Labatt Blues, boys.
All right, thank you, guys.